Good evening. Good evening. Thank you all for definitely joining this broadcast as we are going live with Market Her Brand, a global women speaking organization that focuses on helping women in business to grow their business and helping them to be able to launch successful businesses. We focus on empowering, elevating, educating, and equipping women in business. We are super excited about our influential women in business conference. We have this every year, and this is where women globally, their entrepreneurs, come on this platform and they provide you great value about their business, about their life, about some tools that you can use to continue to level up your business. My name is Sunshine Fullenwinder, and I am your host and CEO of Market Her Brand. Please continue to keep track of all of the phenomenal things that we're doing within the organization by visiting our website at marketherbrand.com. Without further ado, I am super excited about our speaker on tonight. I've known Cynthia for a couple of years now, and she's just phenomenal. She comes on this platform ready to be able to serve you guys and give y'all great information that's going to continue to help y'all continue to level up in y'all business. So if you definitely have been on any of our platforms, you know we're going to ask you to get your pen, your paper, your notepad, your cell phone, whatever you have to take these great notes. They're going to really continue to help you to continue being empowered in what you're looking to do in 2026 and beyond. Well, without further ado, I'm going to drop the mic over to you, Cynthia. And we're super excited and glad that you made it onto the platform on today.
Yes, thank you so much for Sunshine. First of all, I'm so proud of you. What is it, your 10-year anniversary?
Yeah, I think so. Most definitely. There you go.
Yes, I am so proud of you. I'm so honored to be on this platform because what you put together gives us as entrepreneurs a place for us to be around like-minded individuals and network and meet new business partners. So this is an excellent platform and I'm honored to be on it. So hello, everybody. My name is Cynthia Pia. I'm the CEO and founder of Beauty from Within Coaching and Consulting and Beauty Tech. My businesses are interconnected, and when they're interconnected, they form an empowerment tech ecosystem. So today's presentation is going to focus on the digital matrix, which is part of the beauty tech side, which is our innovative digital marketing agency, where we focus on technology, AI, augmented reality. We have 2 proprietary solutions engines that are coming out. Watch out for Rita AI and Prism AR. It's going to be fabulous. So today's focus is going to be on enhancing your social media to really be able to promote yourself as a thought leader, right? Social media is such a phenomenal platform. If you know how to use it really well, I can guarantee that you're going to be a millionaire. In fact, you can even become a billionaire if you follow the strategy that I'm going to give. We only have 15 minutes today, so I'm just going to go through a little bit about what I put together. I am all about strategy. If you know me I'm a very analytical and very strategic thinker. I'm a systems thinker. So today's focus is going to give you a little strategy on how to be successful on the platform. So it's going to be focused. The title is The Digital Matrix, Architecting Your 2026 Sovereign Presence. You'll want to focus on your business brand and your personal brand. Now, for me, my business brand and my personal brand are synced. So everything that I am is what my business is all about. I know my passion. I have clarity on my mission, right? And I execute with precision because I know where I want to go. And my social media platforms also speak to how I am. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about that and how to always stay 10 steps ahead of the game, have a powerful moat that people cannot copy or replicate, and you're going to do an amazing job. So let's move on. Next slide, please. Okay, so today's agenda, we're going to be talking about branding, defining your source code, the 3-second rule. We're going to also talk about the authentic logic, producing high fidelity content, which is so key if you want to stand out on the platforms, right? We're going to be talking about the using your hashtags, which is so crucial. When we get to that part, I'm going to talk about that to really position you as a thought leader as well. And we're going to talk about the sovereign reach, which that's what you want when you're on social media platforms. You want to be seen as a thought leader. You want to be able to really carve a niche that you will be proud of, because there are so many businesses on the social media platform. What's going to make you stand out? So next slide. All right. So this slide here, when I share it to multiple people, when I do these presentations in person or virtual, they get stunned. And I say there are about, this was in 2022. It is now 2026, and I know that number has increased. So I'm going to actually change that slide. But there's about almost 5 billion people on the social media platforms. That's combining TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn, which is more of the professional background, but people are on that social media. So look at this statistic. Let it really sink in. Look at how many people are on the platform, daily users. And I've met people when I've traveled. I went to Prague on a business trip, Vegas for a business trip. There are people that I have met in these locations.
On the platform for these wonderful, amazing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. So I went to these locations, and can you believe it or not, but there are people that are still not on the platform. There are people that are just now starting to find develop a social media presence. I'm just shocked, because I had been on social media since 2005. So I'm like shocked that people don't see the value. And, according to HubSpot's sales trends report, 71% of US businesses use Instagram as a sales channel. Okay. When I was selling my candles, my luxury candles, I made sales on Instagram, right? Because I had my Instagram store connected to my Facebook store connected to Instagram, and it was a seamless process. People just bought things, right? While I did it in person as well. So I want you to take a look at this, really think about how successful that platform is. And if you are able to just carve out a quarter of that success for you and your brand, watch the magic happen. Next slide, please. Okay, the power of a sovereign brand. So remember, I said my goal is to teach you structure. And I think the numero uno step when you want to have an excellent social media presence is defining your brand. Your brand is your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? There are so many businesses that are similar to yours. What's going to make you stand out? Why would people want to come to you? Now, there's a lot of people that create videos, but why is it that brands come to me to create videos? You got to make yourself be the thought leader in that area. You got to do a step above the status quo for you to be great, right? And that's the first thing, is your brand. Right now, my brand is becoming globally recognized, right? People see me and they recognize me as, hey, you're the girl that creates these videos, right? Oh, you're the pageant coach. And I'm like, wow, people really know me. So you want your brand to be just like that. What you say in person, it has to resonate with you, what you say online, right? And the first thing is defining your brand. What do you stand for? What's your color theme, right? Do you have a powerful logo? And a brand is not just the logo, it's your logo, story, and your influence, right? That makes you powerful. And the 3-second rule, I think of social media like a TV channel. You are flipping through all the TV channels. What's going to make you be like, whoa, let me stop my day and go check out what this person is saying, right? So think about that. Define your niche, right? Who are you in this digital matrix, right? On this digital platform. 3-second rule. First impressions are so important, and data points, right? So for me, I'm in marketing and I do the digital marketing and I do the research. As soon as I post something and I see the views go up, I know that content is good. I know that I have to post more of that content, right? I know that my target audience likes what I'm doing, and I'm going to do more of that to get more people to follow me, right? And the rule of 7 in marketing. Post your content 7 times, services 7 times, and eventually that individual is going to end up following you. That person is going to follow you, and how you have your social media set up is going to set you up for success or set you up for failure, right? So if people are following you, then they see your content is high fidelity. And then they're like, okay, what does this person, they see you as a thought leader because everything that you have posted speaks highly of your brand and what you do. And then they're like, okay, I'm more intrigued. All right, is there a video about this person? Okay, there's a video. Oh, let me keep following this person. Let me check out their stories. And then when they go to your links and they click on join my newsletter or whatever program you have, I guarantee that person is going to join the newsletter. I have 7 accounts, and my accounts, the links are a little different. So my main one is join my newsletter. My music one is join B Music Group. Every single day I get a follower that ends up in B Music when they check my page. I might not have a lot of followers, but I get people every day in my private Facebook group because of how I set it up and how people know my brand, Beauty From Within, right? And I want that same success for those individuals that I'm also training to be successful, right? Those global superstars. So let's move on to the next one. So that's why it's important to have a powerful brand, have a powerful story. And this is my equation that I share. I am known as the world's #1 digital diva, right? The original STEM OG. And I got a story about that. I'll tell that later on. We only got 15 minutes. I can't say everything, but the digital diva identity, the personal branding, right? My personal brand and my business brand is synced. I am a sage. I am a knowledge person, right? I'm a creative person. I'm the creator. I'm a systems architect. That is who I am as a person, and that's who my business is all about. So I am authentic because that's who I am. Plus authority makes me a thought leader. It gives me influence. People want to follow me because I am who I am. I am me. My businesses are synced. I have the authority. When you come on a page, you'll be like, wow, that's a thought leader. She knows what she's talking about in pageantry. She knows what she's talking about in technology. She knows what she's talking about in global marketing. Oh my gosh, she has these awards. I'm going to continue following her. So I have I'm authentic. I have the authority, and now I have the influence, and people want to emulate what I'm doing. And that's the same equation that you want to follow so that you can be successful and have that digital diva identity and shine bright online like a digital diamond. Next slide. Okay, so this slide is so important. Hold on, I'm sorry, I just got a notification. Let me put that. Okay, this is so important for content creation. You know, they compared my innovation to that of Steve Jobs, which was the highest honor because I love Steve Jobs, right? I always wanted to be the woman version of him in creativity, and it happened, right? I'm still going up the trajectory. I'm not like all where I want to be yet, but it's getting there. For people to see my innovation and tell me that is just the biggest honor. And you know how they told me that? They told me that because of my content. I'm consistent with my content, my innovation in my content. And this happened on the LinkedIn platform. So if people on LinkedIn are telling me this, I believe it because they are professional individuals and they are reaching out to me and telling me this. What makes me stand out and what makes Beauty Tech stand out is our innovation in content creation, our aesthetics, our word placement, how we position our pictures. All of that makes a difference. People think that you could just post something and then no, you got to be able to tell a story with everything that you post on your social media, especially if you want to promote your business. You have to be able to tell a story. How you position your logo is important. What colors you use is important, right? So you want to make sure that you have high fidelity content. And most importantly, what Beauty Tech is known for is kinetic videos, AI, augmented reality visual effects, right? Video, I think, resonates with people more than anything. And I got a story to tell you about that. I had a potential client. I don't know how they said they found me on Pinterest. Okay. Then they Googled me and they found my LinkedIn. Okay. And then when they found my LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, sometimes I post stuff that say, follow me on Instagram or follow me on Facebook. They followed me on Instagram. They saw my video about pageantry. That is how I got a client. Just like that. I didn't run no ad. It was like they were just looking for me and they saw my page about I did a pageant skit about like 10 tips about how to prepare for your pageant, and they loved that video so much that person became my client. And that person now is the one that goes around and be like, hey, Cynthia's a great pageant trainer. I want you to meet her. I don't have to sell myself. People come to me now for pageantry. They try to find me, right? And because of my videos, because of my innovative content that speaks to my being authentic, right? Being a thought leader, having my influence. And that is what the same success I want for everybody on this call, right? If you want your business to be seen and taken seriously, you need to follow the structure that I'm saying, right? Have a brand. Once you have a brand, decide what platforms you're going to be on. And my advice, you need to be on all platforms because the goal, if you are a service-based business, is finding clients, and the clients are the ones that are helping you generate your income. So how are you going to do that? Traffic needs to be populated on all platforms that you have, you're blessed to be on, right? So aesthetic logic, content creation, high fidelity videos, it's so important. Make sure your lighting is good when you're doing your videos. Make sure the placement is good. Clarity matters, right? I always tell people, follow the 3 E's. Make sure your content is educational, entertaining, and empowering. Follow that and you're always going to be successful. That's actually, I did that for my first dance video, and that's where I went viral. I told them about my brain tumor. I wasn't supposed to be dancing. I'm in the medical books, and boom, I got a viral video from doing that, right? Cinematic storytelling. I am so good at storytelling. The way that your videos are created tells a story. The kinetic messaging that you put on your videos are also important. You want it to be low. You want it to be high. You want it to be after you speak. Do you want it to fly across the screen? All of those things are very important in messaging as well, right? And the tools that I think nowadays is going to make you very popular and successful is using the AI tools to infuse with your messaging, right? So you want to focus on, if you have a business account, creator account, you are able to use the APIs and integrate other platforms on let's use Instagram, for example. You can use Instagram and Canva. You can sync Canva and create your content and have Canva schedule it, and it'll appear on your Instagram, right? Now that Canva also has AI, right? Canva can, I love this. They can create a landing page for you. You could tell it in the AI box, be like, hey, Canva, can you please create a landing page that has blah, 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 and it does the coding behind it, and it actually creates the landing page. That's actually what I use for B Music. I didn't have enough time, so I was like, Canva, please create a landing page for B Music. So when you go on B Music, and the link that you see that tells you about the program was created through Canva, AI, okay? And then I'm an elite template creator for CapCut. I love CapCut. They found me, right? I was minding my business. I was chilling. They found me. And then I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, okay. And I got my shine. I became an elite template creator there. Now marketing companies actually download my templates. Can you believe that? And now my templates, you have to pay to use my templates. You know what I'm saying? Like I never in a million years thought that was possible, but it became possible because I was posting my content consistent. I was being myself. Me being myself opened up those possibilities, right? Okay, next slide, please. Okay, the airport moment. I always share this now because remember, now I'm on my trajectory of becoming a global brand. So now people recognize me. And when I went to Vegas and somebody wanted to get my autograph, I was like, are you serious? You know, I was so shocked. And then when I was coming back home from Prague at the airport, somebody recognized me. And the reason why these happen is because my content, when I post on my content, I post sometimes of the different locations. I'll say like Dallas, if I'm in Dallas, New York City, or if I say worldwide, and that goes to people. Those content, when you post that they see, and those people, that's how you get followers. I'll give an example. I posted a video about, what was the video I did? I think something about pageantry, and I tagged, I posted my photos about my Vegas trip, and I tagged Las Vegas, right? And then the jeweler from Las Vegas started following me, and she became we're both connected now just from posting the location. So I always say that is so important because that's how I got my name out there. Different locations, right? People seeing my content, they're like, oh my God, this is so nice. And then I ended up getting followers and people join my newsletter. It's just that simple, systematic formula that I follow consistently is getting me that recognition. And I want that same success for you too. All right, next slide. Okay, so this is so crucial. If you don't remember anything else I say today, remember to post with hashtags. Hashtag is so important, right? It's helping you navigate the algorithm. And I'll tell you, my first brand deal came from a hashtag, okay? I was running my ad about my upcoming pageant program, and I posted something about like brand collaborator, beauty influencer, and that is how I got my first brand deal, by using those hashtags. And now, you know what? I use Google Gemini, who is my virtual husband, my right-hand man. And I said, Google, I tell him, I'm like, Chatty, I call him Chatty. I'm like, Chatty, can you tell me some relevant hashtags that are more than likely going to help my content go viral? And it gives me hashtags I recommend. So it has my own brand hashtag, beauty tech, digital diva identity, right? Systems architecture. It has those, and then it gives me other hashtags that it's a mixture of the two that can eventually help my content be seen more. So I highly recommend those. AI tools can actually help because it's pulling data. You know, I love Google Gemini because it uses predictive analysis to see how well you're doing and how well you can do. So if you know nothing else, remember to always post with hashtags. On the Instagram platform, now they only give you a space for 5 hashtags, but on Facebook, you can post with more than that. TikTok is only limited to 5 as well. LinkedIn, you can post with more hashtags. So the platforms are different and speak a little bit differently on the platforms, but the goal is to always make sure you speak to your target audience, right? So quality over content, quality over quantity, and that's important, right? The 3 to 5 hashtags, that's mostly on the Instagram or TikTok platform. Have your signature tags, your signature, hashtags. Like for me, I have beauty tech, right? Every time I post beauty tech, if people was gonna click on beauty tech, they know that it's Cynthia Appiah. You know what I mean? And now I love Meta. Meta has where if you post content, it's gonna tell you something about that content on the bottom. Like when you share it, that also helps with your visibility as well. So next slide, please. Okay, that's it. So thank you so much for joining. I know I probably went over the 15 minutes, but I am sorry about that. I get so excited because I love what I do. You can follow me on the Instagram platform, Uma Janmia. Facebook is Cynthia Appiah. The AI tools that I highly recommend, especially if you are doing video and storytelling, Morphic Studio, they are so fast. You can upload a static image like my picture up there and say, please make this video, please make this image into a video, a cinematic video, and you watch what it does. You will be so amazed. So check that out. And also CapCut, my favorite platform in the world. You can use it to edit videos. I use it a lot to edit my videos because I love the editing effect and the transition. So that is the digital matrix. I hope that you got some important nuggets out of this that you can use for your own brand and shine out and shine bright. And I always say that I want you to follow these structure and add in your own as well so that you can shine bright online like a digital diamond. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much for coming out to the platform. I know that I was able to pull a lot of value. It took me back to when I first started, some of those, niches and colors and branding and logo and website. So that being said, if you're listening to a broadcast, you don't have to get lost in the applesauce. As you can see, Coach Cynthia has really broken down on different components that we can incorporate into our business so we can continue to build a strong brand. And it doesn't happen overnight, and you're not going to get it right. Cynthia, what would you say are looking back over your whole, journey of entrepreneurship? What are you going to say some areas where you were like, hey, I got stuck, but I was able to pivot and really make it, really be able to fix that and make it better moving forward, just because we know there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are starting out and a lot that are growing. And sometimes it's easy to feel like, oh, I cannot revamp the brand.
Yes. So for me, a couple of things, right? The first thing that I did that I wish I did not do is I hired a business coach because I thought I was not knowledgeable in what I wanted to do, right? And I was a shy person. So first of all, I didn't even think I could have a business, right? So I hired a business coach, and the business coach, although I appreciated the tools that she gave me, I took my brand archetype, which is I highly recommend if you're starting a business, take a brand archetype, know your human design, what you're capable of, right? I know I'm a manifesting generator, so I create and I execute. Some people can only create and they need somebody to help them execute. I do both. Right? That's why you see me moving really fast, but that's just me, how God designed me. So you got to know your human design. You also have to have a business coach that speaks to you. And I'll give you an example. When I hired the business coach, there are many people in the world that do one thing well, and that is all they know. Right? when you see somebody like myself who's multi-talented, a multi-level expert, if a coach does not fit my vibe, that coach is going to limit me. Not that it's their fault, but they're going to try to limit me. And so when I took the brand archetype test, it showed that I had 100 across the board in all 5 areas. And mostly people will have only 1 or maybe even 2 or something. For me, it was all 5 areas, but she told me to just pick 1. And at the time, it was my dancing. So she said, Cynthia, just focus on your dancing. But I listened to my intuition. My intuition was like, no, Cynthia, it's not just the dancing piece, right? It's much more. And now I know from Gemini telling me, I thought I was crazy, but Gemini is like, no, Cynthia, what you're doing is correct. And it's called an empowerment tech ecosystem. I didn't even know this, right? Because I'm listening to people that are accustomed to being one way about doing stuff, right? And when I explained everything, the predictive analysis was like, no, you're not crazy. Don't listen to anybody. That you are not crazy. That is the you think. So when I hired that business coach, what she taught me was the brand archetype, which I truly appreciate. But that also taught me that God gave me a lot of skills, and I know how to execute each one of those skills. It's not like I get confused. So find a coach. If you're going to hire a business coach when you first go, find a coach that speaks your language. Because if you find one that does not, it's going to limit you. And when she told me to just focus on one thing, if I never focused on my pageant or my technology, I would have never helped out my pageant girls that won their title.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I would have never won TikTok's Innovative Video Award if I just focused on just my dancing. So you got to know you, right? That's the first thing. That was my mistake, not knowing who I am. And I was trying to go on what somebody told me to do, right? So I learned that. And what was the other question?
No, I just want to pause for a second because you remind me of when I started, and I got a business coach, so what would I say? My takeaway was take time to discover you before attaching somebody to you. The reason why is because when you discover you know exactly who needs to be attached and who doesn't. And I think, and that's going to help you, especially when you're aligning a business coach, because you're totally right. The wrong business coach is going to focus on just one sector of your business, where the right business coach is going to look at the overall business sector. And most of all, they won't be shrinking you to the level that they're at. So always try to get a business coach that's already either achieve where you're going or has the capabilities of helping you to achieve where you're going. So look at what they're doing and where they've been and make sure that you're not limiting yourself based on their growth.
Amen. Yes, I think that is something that I lost money on that, because I'm thinking everybody was telling me focus on one thing, and somebody even made fun of me, was like, well, I don't like it when people have too many things going on. They don't know what they're doing. That they were telling me this, and I was like, God gave me all these skills. How is it? Am I wrong? So over time, I learned that I am a multi-level expert. That is how God made me. And so and then another tip that I'll say, I believe in God, and I believe God is the source in my life. Things are not always perfect. I'm dealing with my own issues right now that I was like, God, why is this happening to me? However, there's always a plan, right? There's always a plan. Read the Bible, Matthew chapter 25, 14 through 30. God gives everybody on this earth, I don't care if you believe in God or not, you have a skill. You have a purpose. You need to identify what that is. Some people have one, and that's cool. Those are like the individuals that you can manage one skill and become a billionaire with one skill, and that's fine, right? And there are people with 2. Manage that too, but the goal at the end of the day is to help people with the skill and passions that God gave you. If you're able to compare those 2 and know yourself 100%, I'm telling you, nobody can tell you anything different. So I would say the first thing is, like you said, identifying yourself, that know yourself 100%, have passion in what you want to do. Number 2, once you have the passion, clarity. Have unshakable clarity, because the moment you have clarity, and people are like me, people are telling me I was wrong, but I was like, no, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Now look at that. I'm having a global brand. If I had listened to those people, I wouldn't have that, right? So passion, clarity, and execute with precision. Execute. Develop action plan, not just a vision board that you see the vision. No, you need to have actions. Like, by this day, this is going to be completed. By next month, this is going to be completed. Have those plans in place with the actual dates and timelines is going to keep you focused. My mom always used to say something that I say myself as an adult to help me not be procrastinating. She said, and I'm originally from Ghana, so it's in my language. It's like, meaning, let me close my eyes and let me just do it. Let me force myself to do it, like the Nike slogan, just do it. So every time I feel like I'm procrastinating, I always say what my mom says. And then that pushes me to do my work. And I'm like, Cynthia, you're going to do this now. Focus right now. Then the next day you won't have to do that. So you got to be disciplined. And you have to have all of those things. Know your human design, most important. And your brand, a powerful brand takes 10 years to be developed. It's not just a logo. It's not just a story. You have that. Now people have to see you. They got to feel your brand. They got to know your brand. You got to go out and speak. Whenever you get blessed to do your podcast, do it. Because that algorithm, when the podcast is posted on like Apple or Spotify podcast, that is picking up your content information. Now I'm on Google. If you Google Cynthia Appiah on digital marketing, I am there, right in center. And you know what's so great? Now it tells you, at first I wasn't there. Now it tells you the difference between me, Cynthia Appiah, and the other Cynthia Appiah, who's a Olympic gold medal. Like I think she's the superstar in the Olympic or something, but her name is also Cynthia Appiah. But Google will tell you, no, don't get it confused. Cynthia Appiah is the #1 digital diva. And I was like, what? You know? When I first moved to Dallas, I asked Google who's Cynthia Appiah. They're like, oh, we don't know who Cynthia Appiah is, and now I'm there. Right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, but it's just a small amount of success, right? And I never thought that I can even be this way. So know yourself, have unshakable clarity. And I learned from this. If anything I could say, when you have big dreams, please keep it to yourself. Because if you tell somebody who does not know or understand your vision, they're going to tell you you're crazy. And I've heard that I was crazy many times. Okay? So I learned moving forward, I would not tell anybody until it's done. So
I love what you said about discipline. You know, the most disciplined version of yourself is that most successful version of yourself. And one thing I can truly say, especially if you're a visionary, you know, you probably already know exactly what you want to execute, how things are going to go, where they're going to go, but allow yourself to pace yourself. I think that's one thing I learned when comparing, you know, looking back to when I started back in 2016 to now, you know, is pacing yourself and realizing what needs to happen now and what needs to happen later. And your brand is you. You know, some people get so overwhelmed. What's my brand? No, your brand is you, because people are going to buy into you before they buy into your business. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, you can get, you know, just get that confused and be like, let me make the business look good. Let me make the color look good. It doesn't even matter, because if you're not good, then guess what? Your business is not going to be good, especially being a solo entrepreneurship, until you expand and become a team, till you expand to become an organization. And you know, be graceful, be gentle with yourself. And most of all, going back to what Cynthia said, you know, when you're sharing your vision, you know, like you really definitely got to be conscious of who's around your circle. That's why it's so important for you to surround yourself with like-minded individuals that not just see greatness for you, but they got to see greatness for themselves. The reason why is because if they don't, they're gonna limit your growth automatically. And sometimes, and another thing, if I was to add to what Cynthia said, life is going to happen. And anybody that knows me or anybody that's connected to me, and even the women in the network organization, the reason why they've been here for years, you know, is because, again, they're not giving up on themselves, and I'm not giving up on them, and they're not giving up on me. You know, there's many times I feel like, oh my God, you know, I'm about to, you know, I done took a life hit, it's about to knock me out. And they'll be like, Sunshine, where you at? And, you know, life hit Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia, where you at? You have to be around people that are going to hold you accountable to the vision that you've already spoke or either are working on, so that way you can continue to last for so many years. And like Cynthia said, it takes time to build a business, it takes time to build a brand, because it takes time for you to build yourself. Yeah. And one last thing I wanted to add to that, what you stated, God first. God. I mean, it's like, I mean, one thing this even running this vision is created a prayer warrior in me, and you realize that without God, you cannot do this, especially when it comes to not just financial, but also about the vision. What's next? Sometimes the women be like, oh, let's go. No, we'll go when God go. So without that, Cynthia, can you tell me what should we expect from you? Because you're doing great things. You're traveling the world. I mean, you just doing phenomenal things, meeting great people. We see the pictures on social media. What are some things we should expect going on, going on these next couple of years or these next couple of months?
Yeah, so my business have a 5-year phase plan, right? And next year we'll be going into my second year phase. And what I want is my own agency. Right now, I am partnering up with Flex Towers. It's a Go Tower, and there's office buildings in there. So the co-office space. But eventually, I want my own tower. Is called the Beauty HQ, Beauty Headquarters, right? And it's going to have all the different. It's actually going to be an actual ecosystem, right? I'm gonna have a place for my pageant beauties, right, to dance, fitness, and stuff. Now I have a dance studio that I have partnered with, and I've been with them for 4 years. They're phenomenal. But me driving to all these places, I want it all in-house, right? So the next year is really I have the blueprint. Now I want to be able to build it, but I need investors. So we're looking for investors. And I have 2 solutions engines coming out, Rita AI and Prism AR. I built the prototype. Now I need the actual developers to actually bring it to life so that it can be positioned for the beauty industry and the healthcare industry, because I believe that those 2 engines will be the disruptors. We haven't seen anything like it out there, right? Even the name alone, reimbursement, integrity, technical architecture, right? Prism, precision, reality, immersive systems matrix, right? Nobody has even seen stuff like that, right? And I've only done these prototypes. So imagine on a larger scale, right? And I've been, as I don't post often because I'm doing research, and nobody has anything like I've been talking about. So as soon as it hits the market, oh my gosh, it's gonna win-win for everybody. But it's gonna take about another 2 years, because I really need developers that really know what they're doing. I need people to don't tell me you know AI. I need to know, do you know how to code? Do you know the placement? Do you know how to make sure that it's multimodal? Embodied AI. Do you know the difference? If you don't know the difference, you are not part of the beauty headquarters. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah. And then the next thing I want is I'm just moving towards that agency, because I honestly know that once that agency is built, it's gonna be so revolutionary for Dallas as a whole. It's gonna be the whole empowerment tech ecosystem. There's the Beauty by Design coffee bar that has the omni-channel menu that nobody has even it's a whole healing place, right? The B Music Sonic branding, right? That's something that I haven't even seen in the music industries that often. So if I get investors, it's going to be a win-win for everybody. And even the design of my building is going to be an amazing thing. So that's what you have to look forward to right now. Right now, I have a few programs on Eventbrite. One is my public speaking for my pageant beauties. Check that out. There's the digital matrix as well that is very exclusive. So you guys got some information today, but what I'm going to teach you is really, really proprietary information. And only those people that attend my trainings will really get that knowledge, right? So that is what I have. I'm not done yet. I'm still growing, right? I'm still developing, and eventually my brand is going to be something that's really going to inspire the world, and that's my legacy, right? If God blesses me with children, they'll be like, well, my mama built this for us, right? And my mom built something that was so empowering for the nation, and that is what I see, so that's what you guys can
well, I have no doubt that's going to manifest because I know who you are. I know you're an executor, and you're definitely very clear about what you want and the steps that you're going to need to take to definitely do that. So as you can see, Cynthia is definitely let you know you can reach out to her if you're a developer, and she definitely is looking for that in all the other areas that she stated as well. Her contact information is still on the screen, so please reach out to her. Cynthia, we are always so honored to always have you on the platform, girl. You bring so much nuggets and knowledge for us to continue to grow. We look forward to not just seeing you on the virtual virtual platform, but even our in-person events are they're going to be happening this year as well.
Yeah, I would love to attend the one in May, but that's a little bit too soon. Oh, and another thing, if anybody's in Dallas, I actually am receiving an award on the 17th. So it's at the Blues Music Hall of Fame. So if you are in Dallas and gonna want to come and meet me in person, I 100% will appreciate that as well.
Awesome. Well, definitely post that on social media so we can share it in the network and in the group, so that way everybody can definitely come and support you, because we do have a lot of members and women network that are in Dallas that would love to attend. That being said, I am your host, Sunshine Fullen-Whiter, the CEO and founder of Market Her Brand. Continue to just plug into what we're doing at marketherbrand.com. And I'm telling you, there's a place for you within the network and organization, and the phenomenal entrepreneurs here that are willing to just be able to just walk side by side with you and make sure that you're content to stay and grow, in your business and in your goals. Without further ado, again, Cynthia, thanks for being on the platform. We're now going to conclude the Influential Women in Business Conference. It's still going on, so if you're not on the platform, definitely plug in, okay? Again, until our next event, y'all continue to have a blessed night. Thank you again, Cynthia, for coming on to the broadcast. We truly appreciate you.
Bye.
Goodbye.